Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the live stream. This is the professor, and we are sporting our Dolphins beanie for this live event. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. It is great to see so many people from all over the place. I know for some of you, it's late. I will move these times around to try to satisfy everyone that wants to join these live sessions. So again, just a shout out to our folks from London that are in the house. The UK is in the house. Malaysia is in the house. Who else we've got here? Sabrina is in the house. Hey, thanks for stopping in and saying hello. So if you are in the club, in the app, as soon as this live is over, I will be dropping this link in the video section of the app so you can go back and just watch the replay. You definitely got to take care of yourself. So go get some sleep. You'll have everything that I talk about in here on the recording as well. Okay. Alexander, shout out to you and say hello as well. We're going to jump into the analysis here in just a minute. I do want to ask you a quick question because I want to kind of find out the different people that we have in here. So if you are currently in the trading club, you're in the app, drop the number 1 in the chat. I know we've only got 20 or so people on right now because of the time zone. But if you are currently in the app in the club, drop the number 1. I don't recognize too many faces. And if you're not there yet, I'm gonna definitely invite you to join us in there. I am going to honor member pricing. Sabrina, I know you're there. Okay, so thank you for all of you that are dropping the number 1, just so you can kind of see that we do have real people that are just like you in there from all over parts of the world. So thank you so much for joining. I know you're actually loving the experience that we are having. Shimmy from New York, welcome. Bruno from Portugal, welcome. And again, if you have not yet had the opportunity to join us, there is a QR code somewhere here on the screen, and I'll also drop a link. I'm going to honor the member pricing for 48 hours. Okay, and then after that, the pricing is going to go up. It's one of those monthly. You can pay annually. You can cancel anytime. I'm going to invite you to come in. We're doing some pretty amazing things, and I'm not going to be doing as much YouTube because inside the app, I can do a full live analysis. And if there's some folks here who are in the app and want to drop some comments on the live feed about your experience with the app, you can definitely drop it in there as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. Right? There's going to come a point where YouTube will take a second stand and we're going to do everything inside the app. So I want to come in and I want to invite you in there and hopefully come in and you can get some massive value, not only on crude oil, but across the board. We've got some pretty cool stuff happening in 2024. So let's kind of break down what happened today. And then we're going to kind of look at crude oil. And then we're also going to look at a couple other things just so you can account for your time, because I value your time and I also value my time. This will be about a 30-minute live session. We're not going to go super, super long. We'll do about 30 minutes to see that, to give you some value. Okay. And as you know, Sabrina is talking about, right, the live feed in the app, there is no delay. It is instantaneously. So when I send out a trade alert, you get it right away. YouTube, there's a 20-second delay. By the time you heard me say something, you've already heard it. So when we are live trading in the app, if we say buy, sell, let's get in now, it's like right there. There is no delay. So that is a huge, huge advantage of being inside the app. Okay. So let's get over to this crude oil. Okay. We know we had originally set up this Fibonacci. When we saw this swing move happening, we had set up this Fibonacci. Well, listen, folks, we are in very crazy times right now. Folks in my group have heard me say this over the last few days, right? There is a lot of market manipulation happening. Just look at all the indices across the board, US 30, S&P, every day is something positive. Newer highs, all-time highs, right? People are still broke. Groceries are still expensive. Gasoline is out of the roof. but the markets are thriving like if we are in a fantastic state of mind. So the rich are getting richer, the investors, the politicians, those people that know these moves are making it happen. So we as retail traders have to use extra caution. December is the hardest month to trade because they all know where they want to settle price by the end of 2023 and into 2024. We don't know that. So the technical analysis will not always be as spot on as it will be in the other months. So things will settle, but understand that if you go right now and you look at US 30 or the NASDAQ, obviously the NASDAQ had a nice drop today that we caught. But if you look at the movement of those pairs over the last 30 to 60 days, where's the retracement, right? Where is the mega retracement? Finally, NASDAQ today had a pretty decent retracement that we caught inside of our app. So I just want to caution you to not over leverage, do not over trade. And again, consider yourself, even if you can grab 10, 15, 20 pips at a time, especially in the crude oil market, get out, take your profits. And because the markets eventually will settle going into 2024, there's going to be a lot of political pressure as well, but we'll talk about that, another time. So let's kind of look at crude oil here. Okay. So we broke through our fibs. We broke through the 50-day moving average. And then we talked about in the group, I kind of looked at 72. I believe that if we were to close way above this pink area, 72, that we would see price closing at about 75. Okay. By next week, we'll kind of know, but I'm kind of, again, don't go off what I'm saying. I'm just throwing it out there that the crude oil makers, I think, want us to get to 75 by the end of the year. Okay. How that's going to happen, if that's going to happen, I don't know. But from everything I'm reading, I'm seeing, that seems to be a settling price. Okay. Now we've only got a couple of weeks left, so they would have to turn this thing around. But with regards to where price went today, one of the key things that we talked about is that we needed the daily candle to close above this pink area if we were immediately going to go higher and maybe see a retest and then take this starting back up. Now, that did not happen. Okay. If we drop over to our daily, there is that massive wick. Okay. So a lot of selling pressure came in late in the day to drop that price down. Okay. Now, I want to show you a couple things that I saw so you can kind of keep perspective as we're talking about the technical analysis, part of this, right? We came up and then we broke this high right here. Now, some of us that we talk about, right, we look for certain patterns. Now, breaking the high is not something that's, out of the norm. It tends to happen, right? It happened here as well, right? We had this high here. And then what happened is we came back up and we broke it, but we broke it so far up, we continue to take out people that had positions in this area right in here. Okay. So it's not uncommon that they continue to push the price even higher to knock out all those positions that are sitting there. Okay. So now that I'm going to look at the chart from where we are now, just to show you it is common, right? Same thing here. So we're going to bring this back kind of to perspective. We broke the highs and then we fell down. So now let's go on current price action. Okay. We are above the 50. We understand that. So this is the 50-day moving average. I use it as a reference point. Now, in my opinion, this was a significant drop in that last 4-hour candle. Okay. In that last 4-hour candle. So for those of you that are going to trade this session and London session, okay, usually what we get when we get that type of movement, okay, is that we get some type of retracement and then a continuation. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the board. I'm going to leave this 72 area or the high. Okay. So that was the high of the session right there. That was the high of the US session. So we have to look at this in a couple of different ways if you are an intraday trader. Number one is to put a Fibonacci level at this high to where we have now begun to retrace, okay, which is right there, okay? And I'm going to be dropping down in time frame in just a minute. So in my opinion, right, are we going to see the up, the down, the up, and then the continuation of the M pattern back down to at least this level right in here, okay? We shall see. But I think that we do have enough movement that if I was looking for a position now, I would be looking for a position to sell at this liquidity level here. There's a lot of liquidity sitting in this candle, okay? So that candle in itself is going to be, let me grab a fib level. That candle by itself is, we're sitting at the 80% of that candle, which they like to grab liquidity at 50 or 80%, sits up here anyways. Okay. So what does that tell me? That tells me that this would be a good area to try to get this price to come back up and then drop it down. Again, for those of you in the group, in the app, we already know, especially that tomorrow is going to be Friday. For some of you, it's Friday. I don't trade on Fridays. Part of my trading rules. We look for 20 pips. I will also say points because some of you trade in futures, okay, at a time. Then you take profit or protect. Okay, so that's what we do. And we just do that 3 or 4 times a day, and we end up having nice 60, 80 pip days very easily on crude oil. So that to me would be the move on this time frame. Okay, that would be the move for me on this time frame. What would be the next move if that move doesn't happen? So let me drop down to the 1 hour. Okay, that's going to be the move there on the 1 hour. Okay, to try to get those pips as we are beginning to move up into that area. Will they go back to grab liquidity in this area? Now, 61.8 to 78.6 is the ideal area right in here. Okay, so if you are an aggressive trader, I want to give you this, and I'm going to be going to the comments here in just a minute. By the way, if this is helping you, if this is adding some value to your trading plan for crude oil, just drop the word value in the chat so I know that I'm being able to connect with you and that you understand kind of what we're talking about. And I'm trying to speak nice and slow for all of our international people. Okay, so this would be the way I take this scenario here. Okay, this would be one setup back to the negative 61. Okay, on the 1 hour time frame. I'm going to give you multiple scenarios on crude oil because I don't know what session you are going to trade. Please remember this though. This is so important. This is what we're aiming for. Okay, if this setup gives you this and you decide to stay in longer and it turns around on you, that's on you, right? This is what we look for. 20 pips at a time. It works for crude oil all day. One simple wick can be 20 points. You do that 3 or 4 times a day, you have your 100 pip days very, very easy. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm going slow enough and that no matter where you are watching from, okay, that you are able to connect with what I'm saying so that you fully understand that. And again, this is what we do in the app. We break it down. We give you charts. We give you everything you need to be successful, both on the buy side and on the sell side on as many pairs as possible. I want to put you in the best situation for you to win. Now, if you're trading futures and you can only trade one side, then that's a different story. Maybe you have to cost average. But when it comes to those of you that are usually trading on other platforms, if you can buy and sell, we are doing a fantastic job on both sides. Scalping 10 here, scalping 20 there. And so we're able to do that. So that would be the first scenario, right, that we would give you there. Now, I'm going to give you some scenarios in case tomorrow's a crazy day because I will not be trading tomorrow. But if you're in the app, of course, we are going to be updating you, right? Again, for me, okay, for me, this is the intraday London session scenario. This scenario gets wiped out if there is a closure up in this area, okay? If price closes up in this area, then it's going to knock this out and you should end your sell, okay? This is some of the This is probably the hardest thing that some members have a struggle with, right? When do I close? You need to know your risk management. You need to know, in my opinion, you should never risk more than 2 or 3% per trade. That should be your max. And if you have 2 open trades, you should never have more than 6% open on any given trade. If you can protect your account, I can help you. But if you blow your account, then you got to put more money into your account. So we're going to teach you management. We're going to teach you risk. We're going to teach you mindset as we go into 2024 in the app. So keep that in mind. Just take one trade. If you have a small account, just take one trade at a time. Let it play out. Then take the next trade when that one closes. Win or lose, take the next trade. What gets a lot of people in trouble is they get into one trade, they're in another Telegram, they're in another Discord. This person gives them a trade. This person gives them a trade. Next thing they know, they look at their phone like, oh my God, I have 10 open trades and they're all in the red. And my margin is at 50% and they're about to close me down. Is that true or not? Has that happened to you? Let me know down in the comments if that has happened to you. So we don't want that for you. We want you to be very, very conservative. Okay. So especially here trading in December. So that would be the scenario. And so the question is going to be, what happens if we don't reach this level? Well, then there is no trade. Okay. Now, if you want to open up your risk, listen, if you like the 38.20, that would be your risk. It would be like a 1-to-1. If you want to be a 50% trader on the Fibonacci, it would be about a 1.5 to 1. If you're a 61.8, you see how you increase your risk or your possible gains by moving the slider up or down, right? I'm always a 61 to a 78%. I like the middle. If I get the trade, great. If it doesn't come to me, oh well. Sometimes not trading is a win, right? So that is what I would look for on the 1 hour if it reaches there. So the next question that I'm going to get is going to be, well, what happens if this begins to fall back down? Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so let's do a Fibonacci on this movement here. Okay, and I'm going to take it from the bottom because this was just a minor pullback. This is really where price took off. So if I do a fib level now from here to the 0 line, and then what I do is I change the color of the fib so I know it's a different fib level, right? Beautiful. So this is the way I color code my charts. I know white is smaller and now yellow, it's a longer swing trade for me. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go ahead and set my alerts somewhere at around the 78.6, which would be right here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and change that color to a little bit darker color. Why is that? Okay. Number one is because of my risk to reward, because when I do this scenario, my scenario on the long changes, meaning if I'm looking to get in here and take it back up to the 0 line, which is usually where we like to take it back up, your stop loss should always be the 100% line and maybe 2 pips underneath. Okay. But what's also going to validate this for me, if this is what happens, is that the 50-day moving average is beginning to move up on the 1 hour. So that could coincide with if price comes down into this area right in here. I'll make this more of a red, right? So we can get a nice bounce off the 50-day moving average, just like we did here. Okay, just like we did there. So if you see here, and I'm going to be dropping an entire course in the app on trading with something called SARS, trading with the 50-day moving average, right? Especially on crude oil. Crude oil loves the 50-day moving average, and my favorite is the 1 hour chart. Okay, we can take great entries with little risk inside of the 50-day moving average. So that little mini course is going to be dropping in the app in 2024. So now I've given you 2 scenarios that you can sit back and you can say, let me see which of the 2. And I'm going to give you a third one just as an extra bonus. And the third one would be, if this scenario happens, then you would look to take a long position from here. If it retests this area on the top side, you then want to take it up, but your stop loss has to be this lower wick right here. Okay, so that would be the scenario if we get this price here to come up, close. Remember, that's the key word, close. Today we didn't close. Today we touched. We did not close, and then move up. okay, and then move up. So this could be maybe a scenario for next week. If we get this drop here, this will probably happen next week if we get there. If not, then I will update you in the app as we move to lower numbers. Will we get to 69 again? We shall see. But now we have trapped price. Do you see this kind of trading for me gives me the opportunity to win, to understand where I want to go with it. And anything that happens for me, okay, and hopefully for you as well, right? Anything that happens between here and here means nothing for me. I do nothing in those areas. Okay, I am waiting for something to happen. This is a no trade zone for me. You have to be able to build that discipline. Okay, so this could be moved to the 38, to the 50. If you're a little bit more of a risk taker, you can try to get in early somewhere in here, right? And still get the same opportunity, but please keep your stop loss in the same area. Okay. And then same thing with this scenario. If you're more aggressive, take this up to the 61, right? If you're very, very aggressive, take this up here, but you're increasing your risk for a smaller possible gain there, because the zero in this scenario, the zero is usually where we get that profit level. Okay. But again, regardless of where you are at, I can't stress enough right now in December, this is what you should be looking for at a time. 20 pips, 20 points, cashing out, or trailing it, or protecting it. One of the two. Okay. Remember this, though, at the end of the day. This is kind of what my mentor taught me, and I'll kind of repeat it to you all. If you break even 5 times in the week and you could have taken 10, 15 pips and you didn't, you just lost the opportunity of profits, right? And profits is what pays the bills. Profits, it's what gets you to your goal, right? So whatever those goals are for you, whether you're trading 10 cents a pip or you're trading $10,000 a pip, those are goals. So however your goals are for you, they're important to you, right? So take profits. Stop trying to hit the home run on every trade. Okay. You can get very lucky in the market and hit a couple of home runs and feel like you're the best. And then thing you know, you lose a couple of those home runs and now you're scrambling and you can't sleep at night because you don't know what's going to happen with your trade, right? We definitely do not want you there in that mindset. Okay. So if this is making sense so far, drop the number 6, which is my favorite number. Drop the number 6 in the chat. If you are getting value, drop the number 6. If this is making sense, drop the number 6. If you understand the charts, or if you have any questions on the charts that I've shared with you, drop the number 6 in the chat, because I want to be able to validate and go back, especially for some of you that are in that app. I can say, hey, you understood what the rules were for this trade setup. Okay, I've given you 4 different setups going into sessions tonight, and then going into London, and then tomorrow the US, we reassess. Okay, for me personally, I do not trade London. I don't trade the Australian session. I wait until the US session. I like to wake up in the morning. I like to see whatever false moves happened during the London session, and it kind of sets me up. And I think that's why we're so successful. We can begin to break down, is it going to be a green day? Is it going to be a red day? And we just find our 20, 40 pips for the day and we go, because there's a lot less volume right now in the session. Like, in my opinion, you should really never trade this session. You should either come back around my time. Okay, I'm on the East Coast, Miami, Florida time. You should come back around 2:30 a.m. and get ready to trade London, or just wait for US session. Like, this is a very boring session, to be honest with you. So if you got to sleep, go sleep during this session. Like, very little happens in this session. Okay, I see a lot of 6s. That is awesome. Okay. Now, I see here that my good friend Bruno wants to talk about gold. So I've already been going for almost 30 minutes. I'm going to do a quick view of what I think on gold. Again, I like gold. We scalped gold today, but gold is just so tricky right now. It can go in either direction, but let's go ahead and give you some bonus coverage. Okay. So let's get over to gold. So that is the setup. If you are in the app, chill. When this video is over, I will be dropping this chart for you in the chart section of the app so that you completely understand where that's at. And again, if you are Um, if you are not yet, into our group, okay, again, I suggest that you join us. It's for like less than $1 a day, and you can get some massive, massive value as well. Okay, I want to kind of go here and do a quick screen share, and just to show you that this is real, right? We're just posting charts. We had a great day today with the SP 500. We had that massive drop. We caught it. So you are just going to get everything, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to share with you in there. Here's another example, right? We had a natural gas buy stop. We cashed out earlier. So whatever I'm doing, I'm just going to be pumping you with ideas. You've got a chat zone. You are able to connect with people from all over the world as they are talking, they are trading. You can actually private message people in here. It is pretty amazing. All the videos and courses here, you pay nothing extra. I'm just dropping them in here for you. You've also got all the live events that we're trading live. This is what's going on right now in here. I'm dropping learning articles so that you can continue to explore your learning as you move forward in here. You have an entire welcome area that you come in. I welcome you. We're doing polls. We're doing prompts. You set up your profile. You get instant alerts right to your phone or your computer. You can do this across the board. So again, I highly, highly encourage you, if you are not there yet, to definitely jump in there and get with us inside of the app. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our charts here and take a look here. And let's go over to our good friend gold. Okay, there is part of the crazy manipulation happening here. All right, so let's take a look at gold, right? Does everybody see this? Just look at that big old candle right there. A lot of money was introduced there to move gold from 1981 to where it went to 2047. Okay, so crazy, absolutely crazy. They're going to have to come back for that money. Okay, they are going to have to come back for that money. Look over here. Look what happened. What was this last week? We saw this happen too, right? It went over, I don't know, it was about 1,000 pips in that spike. So this is where I'm saying you've got to use a lot of caution. Now, I purposely have an alert up in this area. Okay, I have an alert in this area. And the reason why I have an alert in this area is because of this fib retracement going from this wick all the way back down to where we begin to go up. Okay, I have this up here for a longer term swing trade on gold. If gold comes up here, I trade much more aggressively when I get to these numbers up here. Okay, so for now, we have to wait because it looks like we're going to clear the 38.2. Okay, it looks like we're going to clear the 38.2. So again, on gold right now, we clearly, I think, in my opinion, because we're going to go ahead and clear this zone right here, we have to wait to see what's going to happen at the next several fib levels right here, which is 2059 and then the 61.8. So these are all going to be the different levels that we have to wait to see how price is going to react in those levels. So, listen, if you're very disciplined, and again, if you are looking for 20 pips at a time, this becomes very easy. Like, I think people make trading very, very difficult. And let me go back here to full screen. EJ, great pullback. Awesome day. Lots of trade alerts from the. Yep, I appreciate that. So yeah, just because he mentioned it, Harry, we put an EJ trade out. I think it was yesterday or today in the morning. Yesterday I said, hey, I'm buying EJ 150 pips today. Now, I didn't take 150 pips because I already had my profit levels set at 20. I like to go 20, 20, 20, and that's an easy 100 pip day across the board. That's all I need. I don't even need 100. I go for 40 a day, but boom, took off 150 pips. We had some traders that stayed in it for 60, 80 pips. Okay. And yeah, exactly. Listen, I make this guarantee. I don't know who else can do this, right? I'm old school. My videos are not going to be flashy. They're not going to be a lot of editing. Listen, your membership right now is only still $27. It's going to go up. If I don't give you 27 pips a month, you're not going to pay. So, assuming you're trading $1, even if you're trading 50 cents, if I don't give you 50 pips a month, you don't pay. That's how confident I am that we're going to get these trades in and have a winning percentage like we did last year. Okay. I'm not tooting my horn, but I was at a 90% win rate last year because I'm not greedy. I'm 53 years old. I understand the market. I've been doing this for 7 years now. 20 and out, 20 and out, 20 and out, 20 and out. I don't care about hundreds. Let it go 100. Awesome. I got my 20. Let it go 1,000. Awesome. I got my 20, right? Because as your lot sizes go up, you don't need to be in the market so long. Okay. So let's get back over to gold. I see Bruno laughing. So this is where I would look. Okay. This is honestly where I would look. I would just look at every level, and we are at that level right here, right? I would look at this level. Now, because of this wick, I would not trade the 38. I am not a 38, right? I am not a 38. So this is very easy. Like, do not make trading difficult. This is all that's going to happen here. Let me already tell you what's going to happen, okay? And then you can come back tomorrow and tell me you were right. Ready? Here we go. If you're ready for me to tell you what's going to happen, stay ready in the chat. If you want me to show you what's going to happen, put ready in the chat. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen. And it's going to be very simple. And people will say, well, of course. Listen, there's only two scenarios on any chart. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is that not what happens? When people ask me in the app, hey, do you know what's going to happen next? I really feel like saying it's going to go up or it's going to go down. That's it. It's kind of like your heart rate. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. So let's start wrapping this up. Here are the scenarios for here. And if you are disciplined, then you will make money on any trade because you know when to get in and you know when to get out, right? So let me give you a short scenario. Price comes up to the 50, right? You get in here and you do a quick get out with a very tight stop loss and you take it back to the 38%. Okay. Now, that's the short. What happens if it closes? Remember, folks, the key word, and let me go real quick on camera to show you this, because many new traders, like I did, my first 3 years, I did terrible. I struggled. I blew accounts. I'm with you. Okay. And I have no idea why that just zoomed in on me on my camera. But anyways, risk management, right? Risk management. Okay. Risk management. So you've got to be able to know when to get out. If you're down 1,000 pips, it's not going to turn around overnight. You have to get out. You got to have a plan. So I'm going to give you a plan because this camera is kind of freaking me out. Okay. So here's the plan, right? Because of that wick, they may come back up here. I'm not even going to give you a scenario here. If you want a scenario here, which again, I wouldn't take the scenario here. Actually, I'm not even going to give it to you. I'm not even going to give it to you. So here is the long scenario. Okay. Same area, but here is a long scenario. Now the long scenario changes. We go below this wick and we take it to the 61 point. No, I'm sorry. We take it to the 50%. Okay. Or 20 pips. Okay. This scenario is based on this happening over here. A candle closes, and I'm going to make that candle green because we're going to stay consistent with these candles. The candle comes back to test this area, and then the price goes up to our next level. Do you need an example? Okay. Thank you for asking. Here's an example. You're looking for this over here. That's it. You're looking for this break, retest, and go back up over here, 20 pips at a time, right? Now, because of the momentum, I'm not going to give you a sell situation here. I'm only going to give you a possible buy situation over here. I'm not going to give you the sell. So if this just goes here and tanks down, oh, well, we missed it, right? If you want to trade that, you can. We'll see what happens, right? So for now, I believe we'll probably go up higher because of that wick right there. So you can get this scenario to play out, right? That would be the scenario for the buy. I'm going to leave it over here on the side so you don't lose it. And again, if you are in the app, you'll be getting this video to watch again over and over and over as soon as I'm done. Okay. Now, if price comes up here, This is a sell scenario. And this is what I'm talking about. You can lose one of these trades because it's a 2-to-1, it's a 4-to-1, right? If you hold it, and one loss doesn't matter because you're going to win times 4 on the win side. So you made up that loss and then still made money. Okay. But you've got to know when to get out. You've got to have a plan to get out. And the biggest problem that I struggled with early on was I did not know when to get out. I thought it would turn around on Tuesday. And then a week later, I'm still praying that it's going to turn around. And then next month, I'm still waiting. And then it never turns around. Okay. Don't let that happen to you. We're going to be working on goal setting in the app. We're going to be working on trading plans in the app. Don't let that happen to you. Okay. Do not let that happen to you. So you've got scenario 1, break, retest up. It doesn't retest or it just shoots up. This would be a scenario here. And then I'm going to give you one more just in case we go higher. Very simple. This becomes very, very simple. Then we short near the 61.8. We go to this wick right here, and we try to take it all the way back down to either 50 or the 32. But again, remember our rules, okay? And I didn't talk about those rules here, but just a reminder, it's always going to be, always 20 pips and cash out or secure, okay? 20 at a time, 20 at a time, 20 at a time. So I'm going to kind of leave it there. I'll update this for the members in the app. If we do push up higher, if I wake up tomorrow, US session, and we've pushed up higher, then we'll start giving you some scenarios because we really don't know where gold is going to go, right? And anybody who gets on YouTube or any other platform and says, I know where gold is going, they're full of crap, right? Nobody knows. The market makers know where they're going. We have to put ourselves in high probability trading. This is not gambling. Okay. Gambling is that you go to the casino, you go to a roulette table, and you say $100 on number 6 because that's your favorite number. There's a whole bunch of numbers, right? The probability of that is very slim. If I have stop losses, if I have a game plan like this for every trade I go into, okay, then you have a high probability because you've understood where you get in and where you get out. Okay. You understand those are the two biggest things that traders struggle with. Where do I get in and where do I get out? So that's what we kind of work on. And we'll be doing more of that as we move forward. Okay. Are there any final questions on either crude oil or gold? I will not be doing another pair because it is getting late. It is getting late and I've got some family time stuff to do. But I do appreciate you for being here. If you got some value today, you can just help the old guy out by going down there and hitting that like button on the video. You can type in some comments on the video. You can share the video with your social media or your friends. Invite them in. For those of you that are cheap and don't want to get extra value and just want to get the free stuff, hey, that's great. Come in for free and do it. You're not going to get the value in the app, but if you want to come on these live sessions, when I keep them open to the public, they all won't be open to the public. This one is, again, but I'm a firm believer that you get what you either pay for or you don't pay for, right? You can stay free on YouTube and watch 10,000 people and be more confused, or you can come in with a set of rules, guidelines, and people that are all moving in the same direction, and you can see how your trading will vastly improve. We have doubled accounts in the last 3 weeks. We've only been doing the trading app for this is about the 4th week. We've already doubled some accounts. Not that they use good risk management, because you shouldn't be doubling an account in that time, but they've taken so many winning trades that their accounts grew. Okay, that their accounts grew. So that is our game plan. Don't overtrade. In the app tomorrow, I purposely will not put any more alerts after 8:30 in the morning because I don't want to suck you into getting into more trades. Let it go, right? Let it go. We don't get into any new trades after 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because after that, it becomes crazy. It's automated, and then it's the end of the day, okay? We'll expect to see less volume as we get closer to the holidays, Christmas here in the U.S. and things like that. So again, we got about another good 10 days or so of solid trading. And after that, we'll take a few days off so you can spend with your family as well as we celebrate our holidays. Hey, thank you to all of you who took the time from your schedule. I know some of you are overseas, international. It's very late there. Go get some sleep. Go get some rest, because if this is not working well, your trading will not work well. So if you're tired, don't trade. If you're busy at work, don't trade. If you got to take kids to school, I take my son to school every day and people are sending me messages. I don't answer. I'm focused on driving. I'm focused on safety. I'm not looking at charts. Don't trade unless you're in the right headspace. Sometimes not trading is a win because your account doesn't go lower. Okay. Love you all. Thank you for being here, and have a great evening. Have a good weekend. If you put a comment in the comment section of the video, not the live stream, the video, you have more questions and you're not in the app, I will answer them for you. Just give me 24 hours and I definitely will get back to you, if not much, much quicker. Thanks for being here and have a good night.